It was a quiet evening, the kind where the hum of the refrigerator and the distant traffic are the only sounds in the house. I had just returned from work, expecting the usual greeting from my wife, a small smile or a tired yet familiar hug. Instead, I found her standing in the living room, arms crossed, a strange mix of resolve and hesitation in her eyes. "I'm moving in with my ex-husband," she said, her voice calm but deliberate. "It's to co-parent better. You'll understand someday." For a moment, I felt like the floor had dropped from beneath me. The words hung in the air, heavy and alien. My mind raced, grappling with disbelief, confusion, and an ache that I couldn't quite articulate. My first instinct was anger, betrayal, fear, but then I saw the look on her face. Not malice, not carelessness, but something raw and honest. She truly believed this was the right thing to do, even if it shattered the world we had built. "Absolutely," I said, my voice steady, though my chest was tight. "I understand." Even as I spoke, my heart was breaking. Yet I knew that love sometimes demands courage in ways that don't always make sense. I had always believed marriage was about compromise, about standing by each other through storms. And perhaps this was a storm I was meant to weather, even if the rain felt like acid. The following days were a blur. I helped her pack, box after box, carefully placing items she had loved with her first husband, items that somehow still belonged to both of them. I drove in silence, the car filled with memories of vacations, anniversaries, and quiet nights we had shared. Each mile between our home and her ex-husband's house felt like a journey, through grief, love, and an unspoken understanding that life was now irrevocably altered. When we arrived, I helped her carry the last of the boxes inside. Her ex-husband was there, waiting with a polite but distant smile. I felt the sting of jealousy, a sharp twist in my chest, yet I kept my composure. I watched as she set down the final box, her eyes meeting mine for a fleeting moment, and I saw gratitude, sorrow, and something that resembled relief. As I drove back home, the road stretched out like an endless ribbon of thought. I remembered our years together, the laughter, the arguments, the quiet nights filled with whispered confessions and shared dreams. Could love survive this? Could trust endure when boundaries had shifted in ways I never imagined? I didn't know, and the uncertainty was terrifying. Weeks passed, and the distance settled between us like a thick fog. Yet every phone call, every message, was carefully constructed, a delicate dance of co-parenting while navigating the jagged edges of our new reality. There were moments of anger, yes, but also moments of clarity, realizing that love isn't always about possession, that commitment sometimes means letting go. Then came the night I received a message from her, simple and hesitant. "Can we talk?" My stomach churned as I drove to meet her. When I arrived, she was sitting on the porch, a cup of tea in her hands, eyes red from crying. "I didn't expect it to feel like this," she whispered. "I thought moving in with him would help the kids, and maybe help us too. But I didn't expect how much I'd miss us." Her voice broke, carrying the weight of guilt, longing, and an honesty that I hadn't felt in months. I sat beside her in silence, letting her words sink in. "I miss us too," I admitted quietly, though I wasn't sure what us meant anymore. Was it the life we had? The love that had sustained us? Or the hope that we could find some version of it again? The truth was, nothing about this was simple. Love had fractured into pieces, some sharp and painful, others fragile with possibility. We had chosen different paths for now. Yet the bond we shared refused to vanish completely. It lingered in small moments, a shared glance during a school event, a brief text expressing concern, a memory triggered by a song on the radio. I realized that supporting her didn't mean surrendering my own needs. It meant recognizing the complexity of human relationships, the blurry lines between right and wrong, and the courage it takes to let someone go while still holding space for love. And in that space, uncertain and fragile as it was, I found a strange sense of peace. Months later, when I watched her walk into the school to meet our child, laughter spilling from her lips, I felt something unexpected. Gratitude. Gratitude that even in the face of choices that wounded me, we could still be a family, still care for each other, still exist in some form beyond jealousy, betrayal, and heartbreak. Love, I realized, isn't always about holding on. Sometimes it's about letting go with grace, courage, and the quiet hope that even fractured hearts can learn to beat in rhythm again.